I look at life sequentially to find meaning and maintain balance. And this is why. When I tear apart my life in individual moments, I'm constantly focused on, is that right? Is that wrong? And I'm focused on judging myself. So when I take a step back and I look at, okay, this happened, and then that happened, and then the third thing happened, and what can I find meaning within that sequence of events, then I'm much more grounded, I'm much more patient, and I find ways to love on myself and believe in myself, because I don't have to decide, well, am I good or am I bad in this one moment? I look at, okay, first I got a bachelor's degree, then I got a master's degree, then I had 3 kids. And what meaning can I find in all of that? And then I see how I've improved and grown through life. It gives me a broader perspective, and patience is virtue. So be patient with yourself, look at life sequentially, and try to find more meaning in that new perspective. You got this. This is how we create our own reality. The emotional experience we're having inside of ourselves, we love ourselves, we hate ourselves, we appreciate ourselves, we don't appreciate, we value, we don't value, whatever it is, that's what we project externally. And that's what the universe gives back to us as feedback. So if you're sitting in your life thinking, this is crap, I want out, what you really want out of is your own emotional pain. And this is where be grateful for the challenges in life, so that you can start with positivity, so you can look at it from curiosity and understand what you need to learn from it. Then go to understanding. How can I learn from this? And then forgive everyone involved. And when you forgive everyone involved, you're releasing all that pain inside of you and replacing it with love. So the more you love on yourself, the more the universe and other people will love on you as well. You got this.
According to the psychologist Carl Jung, the greatest threat to civilization lies not with the forces of nature, nor with any physical disease, but with our inability to deal with the forces of our own psyche. We are our own worst enemies, or as the Latin proverb puts it, man is a wolf to man. In Civilization in Transition, Jung states that this proverb is a sad yet eternal truism, and our wolf-like tendencies come most prominently into play at those times of history when mental illness becomes the norm rather than the exception in a society, a situation which Jung termed a psychic epidemic. Indeed, it is becoming ever more obvious, he writes, that it is not famine, not earthquakes, not microbes, not cancer, but man himself, who is man's greatest danger to man, for the simple reason that there is no adequate protection against psychic epidemics, which are infinitely more devastating.
Here are 2 ways to look at life events, individually or sequentially. First, let's look at individually. When we look at events individually and decide, was I right or was I wrong in every moment, we stay in our ego, we judge ourselves, and it's hard to attract positive abundance into our life. When we look at life sequentially, then we can step back and look for positive and negative patterns in our life and see where we can improve over time. That keeps us in our heart, keeps us loving ourselves, keeps us focusing on improvement, and that is how you attract more positive abundance in your life. You got this. Question 1. If you don't love yourself, why should anybody else? Question 2. If you're not grateful for what the universe has provided, then why should the universe provide anything further? And the third question is, why was it necessary for a challenging event to happen? Why was it necessary for my divorce to happen? Why was it necessary for me to lose my job? Ask yourself those 3 questions every day and see what information lands in your brain. You got this. So the moment you start thinking that someone doesn't love you, appreciate you, respect you, is the moment to ask yourself, how am I not loving, respecting, and appreciating myself? Oftentimes when we reflect back on a situation and we think, oh, wow, we weren't respected, that person didn't love me, that person didn't appreciate me, it really starts from within. And that if you had been respecting, loving, and appreciating yourself in a balanced way in that moment, then you would have handled it in the moment and not had to reflect back at a later time. So if you have to reflect back, oftentimes that means that you need to find ways to love on yourself, respect yourself, and appreciate yourself. And that can come in various forms. That can come in working out, journaling, going for a walk, just otherwise pouring into yourself in really loving, healthy ways so you can become more balanced. So next time someone treats you in a way that's inappropriate, you handle it automatically and you're good to go. How I increase my vibration by learning my lessons. I start with gratitude to get myself grounded and have the proper perspective. Thank you, universe. Thank you, soul, for bringing a challenge into my life and believing in me. Then I go on to learning my lessons. Why was it necessary for this to happen? What can I learn? Have I experienced something similar before? Are there any self-limiting beliefs that's driving the need for this kind of experience to happen in my life, either the first time or again? How can I address my insecurities? How can I have more confidence? How can I believe in myself? And all these questions, all this self-reflection is you loving on yourself and you finding the places that you're hating on, the insecurities, lack of confidence, not believing, that's all you hating on yourself. When you switch your energy to you love those parts of yourself, you'll increase your vibration and attract in more abundance and attract in more positive experiences in life. And the next step is forgive everyone involved. You got this. Have a great day. I went to Tibet in 1993 and went to a Buddhist monastery on Mount Everest. That Buddhist monastery is at 17,000 feet. And when we pulled up in our Land Cruiser, a monk came out and said, "We have wood." And we thought, how do you have wood at 17,000 feet? We can barely walk. So the monk took us back to show us what he called wood. And it was actually yak dung, which is what they use in Tibet for fuel. And so we pointed out, we said, shit. And the monk said, wood. And we said, shit. And the monk started saying shit. So you can imagine the next group of travelers that came up to this, Buddhist monastery on Mount Everest by the Mount Everest base camp. And the monk comes out and says, we have shit. Perfect. All right. Have a good day.